What's up, y'all? I have a question from someone that grew up with me, actually. Tangi. The question is, how did you have the gastric bypass twice? Well, I had the first surgery 20 years ago, um, and I had the Roux-en-Y, which is the procedure where they take your stomach, cut it, they leave some of your stomach in, they take a portion of your small intestines out, and that's what's supposed to happen. Now, for almost 15 years, I had no problems with it. Then all of a sudden, I started having all kind of gastric issues. Oh, there you go, Tangy. Let me start again. 20 years ago, I had the first gastric bypass, and I know that was the Roux-en-Y. And with the Roux-en-Y, that was what they considered back then the major one. They cut your stomach. They leave your old stomach in there so that if this happens, you'll be able to have the surgery to reverse it. So, and they cut your stomach. They take a portion of your small intestines out back then. Now, to update, about 5 years ago, I started having a lot of stomach pains. And just couldn't eat, always nauseous, real malnutrition. And so the surgery, I'll say about a year ago, just really just started, couldn't eat, throwing up all the time, just nauseous. So finally, my doctor sent me to a digestive disease specialist, and they went in and did a scope of my stomach, and they saw that I had a big hole in my stomach, and that I had a mesh that was tearing and leaking in, and when they tried to repair it, that was in October, they tried to repair it, and it started tearing more. So the disease specialist sent me to my gastrologist, my bariatric surgeon, here in Jacksonville. And the surgeon told me I needed to have the revision because the mesh had been recalled over 15 years ago, but my surgeon died 5 years after my surgery. So I never knew I even had a mesh in me. But come to find out, when the gastrologist, when they went in to do the surgery, it took them 2 months, so that's why I didn't have the surgery till December, to get the insurance to cover it and everything, because I had what is called a revision. I was supposed to be having a revision anyway, but I ended up not getting the revision. I ended up having to get the whole surgery again because when the surgeons went in, they found that the old stomach, which they had saw this on the scan, the old stomach had grown back to the new little pouch that they had made for me. And so from the top, so that's why I didn't, it wasn't, really, really bad. But it grew to the top, and it grew back a thick little coat in the skin, which actually, when they went in this time, they found it wasn't a mesh that they saw. It was actually the head of what was called back then the ring. And I did not know I had a ring. My surgeons didn't know I had a ring. So when they went in, they took the ring. This time they had to remove the ring. That's why I ended up having a full another gastric bypass, because they took the ring out. They closed off the old pouch again, detached that stomach that had grew back, and this time they had to actually take 2/3 of my stomach out. So now, if this happens again, which they said it couldn't because they took so much of the stomach, there's no way it can grow back over there, that the scar. I wouldn't have a stomach. I would have to have a bag or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, they basically saved my life. So, but what happened was that's how I got to have it again. So it's no, you can't just go and get you another one. It has to be something that's catastrophic happened with your last gastric bypass, like mine. It ended up growing back and covering up the ring. And once it covered up the ring, um, they had to go in and redo the whole thing. They had to do my stomach over. Um, and so that's why I stayed in the hospital so long. Had blood transfusions like crazy, like 3 blood transfusions. They had to give me iron like 5 days straight, potassium 5 days straight. Um, I mean, I feel so much better now, y'all. I do. I know. And I thank you all for your prayers. This has been a real journey. I know y'all can see I'm even talking better, feeling better. My stomach, my drain is out now. So that pain from that, oh God, taking that out was, ugh. But the drain is out now, so I don't have to keep dumping all that bodily fluids out of my stomach. They put a little drain that comes out the side of your stomach, and it just drains all of the, you know, blood and, you know, the stuff from the surgery, basically. And they leave that in for 2 weeks, so I got that removed. And now, which when it was in, I felt a lot better. But now that it's out, now I'm kind of feeling bloat all the time. But anyway, it'll get better over time, I'm sure, as I heal. I'm eating food now, which I'm trying not to, because every time I eat something, it's like totally bloat for days. I'm having protein shakes and trying to get in 64 ounces of water a day. So what I do is I take these waters, which I cannot stand them, but you know I had a whole case of them, so they're 16.9 ounces. So I drink 3 to 4. Excuse me, y'all. I actually just had a protein shake, and it makes me belch, and that's another thing. They want the gases to move, but they want them to move from the other end, and that is a big problem too with the gastric bypass. Constipation, a lot of gas, bloating, belching. It's like an air pocket. It's caught in my pouch. And so that is a concern that I had from the last surgery. I used to belch all the time, every time I would eat or drink something. And that was because there is obviously some type of leakage when I first had it. But this time they made sure that there's no leaks. I had a couple of tests done, but I'm going to tell him that I am still doing a lot of belching. But I know he's going to say, walk more, walk more, walk more, because you want, you know, gravity to pull down. And a lot of people, I just was talking to a friend of mine who had hers, and she's trying to reset her pouch because, you know, she's having a lot of trouble and the malnutrition and, you know, not being able to eat meat. And that was one thing this time around. My surgeon, before I went left, I told y'all, they gave me meat to eat, and which was shocking because, you know, my first time in my surgery, and for years, I couldn't eat, you know, food like meat. Years, and I've noticed a lot of people, even she just said it's been 5 years and she still really can't tolerate meat. And I was asking my surgeon about that, and this is something I want you ladies to know. Once you have that surgery, the fear will have you on those shakes forever, because you don't want to dump and you don't want to feel that tremendous pain that comes with eating. But you have to put meat back in. You have to put those proteins back in. I am in my 4th week now since my surgery, and I'm forcing myself to eat meat, and it's like it's going down so smooth. I'm like, it's scary, you know, but And then you get down to the bottom and there's that pain. I know what they're talking about. But you have to, what you don't realize is when you first have this surgery, whatever you don't put back in at the initial, in that first year, it's going to be hard to put back in later on. And that's the thing that gets me. That's the thing that gets a lot of people with this surgery. So, like I said, I just want to document my journey. I wanted people to, especially these young girls, because I noticed, like I said, my daughter and all of her little friends and my other daughter friends are all having it, and they're so young. You know, I did it when I was young, you know, and for vain purposes. That's the only reason we're having these surgeries, for vain purposes. And look, 20 years later, I'm having all these. It's almost died because I wanted to spend my younger years then because I couldn't control my fork. I can control demons. I can talk. I can, control in and everybody and every situation and run my life, but I couldn't control a little fork. So I'm asking you, ladies. I'm never gonna tell you not to do this because I've done it and done it twice. But I want you to concentrate more on that fork. Because even with these surgeries, it's a mind thing. And that's the biggest thing. You think it's so easy. It's the reason why they give you that psychiatric evaluation with this surgery. And it's really needed. It is totally needed. Because you have to get your mind right to have this thing. Because it's a day-to-day journey. Every day is different. And the cravings to start back putting sugar. And once you put that sugar back into your system, you're back. You're back hooked. You're back addicted. And slowly but surely, you're going to dump every day. And you'll start being okay with dumping. And dumping is designed to stop you from eating sugar. It's like hours of pain and hurt. It's designed to stop you from doing that. But if you're going to keep doing that to stop that, to override that, then you're not ready to have this surgery. Really and truly. But no one wants to hear that. So I'm just documenting mine. And I'm not going to lie, I went and got a sweet tea. And for the past 3 days, I have been sipping on it slowly and dumping it. And I had to catch myself now. You want to live? Are you going to do this again? Are you really going to be serious about getting this weight off and making a lifestyle change? Because it is a lifestyle change, y'all. It's not a 1, 2, 3 fix. They didn't fix your body and fix your stomachs and let you so you could lose all this weight just for you to not know how to maintain it. And the only way you can maintain it, unfortunately, is you're going to have to make a lifestyle change. Well, this has been Saucy with the Sauce. Stirring the sauce, bringing the tea from the real me. Thank you for the question, Tangi. I hope I answered it. I know you've had the surgery, and it's not a quick fix. It's the result of having the surgery and having it almost take my life. So no, I don't know anyone surgeons that'll give it to you. It's called a revision. And the only way you get a revision is when there's medically something wrong. And 9 times out of 10, you probably do have something wrong. But I went to Memorial Medical Center Bariatric Hospital, Dr. DePerry. If you want more information on the surgery here in Jacksonville, it's the hospital is totally dedicated to the bariatric. They're leaders in their field, and they know what they're doing. They went in and took the ring out, and that was, before I go, the ring is an older version of the surgery. and they don't do that any longer. What I had is called the switch, and what they do is they take your pouch, reseal it back up like I said, but this time they do what is called a switch. Right at the base of your stomach, there's where the small intestine starts. They detach that and they hook it to the bottom portion of your large intestine so that whatever you eat, only what was in the stomach that got in that little small pouch will be absorbed, and the rest of it dumps straight. It switches over and dumps straight into your large intestine, so calories aren't absorbed into the body as much as if like you ate a big meal. Only the amount that's supposed to went in that pouch will be absorbed. The rest will empty straight out into your waste system and not come into calories. That's how the new switch. That's well, not the new switch, but that's how the switch, which is a new surgical bariatric procedure, is done. And once again, this has been Saucy with the Sauce. Still giving my updates, and I am now 22 pounds down. Week 4. Thanks everybody for the love, compassion, and all the prayers. It's meant a lot and it's done a lot. Bye.